little bit windy. I'm sitting here underneath my deck porch area, and I've decided that tonight I'm going to sleep in my new free soldier hammock. I'm not sure. I just checked. There's not supposed to be any precipitation, so I figured tonight I'll put up a little tarp just to keep the wind off me, but it'd give me an opportunity to try this out before going out and taking it out fishing. Never slept in a hammock before. I have no idea what to expect. So anyway, I'm going to build it. I've got one sort of, what do you call these? The post to my porch, and then another one over here. I'm just going to string it between. I'll give you guys some photos later, and let's see what happens. You guys can come with me on this little adventure. Anyway, talk to you in a bit. All right, well, I've got it set up anyway. I haven't put the tarp over the top yet. I'm going to do that next, but I thought I'd show you. Nothing really to it, nothing real fancy. I know a lot of guys will probably say, you know, that should be up higher, that should be down lower, and I appreciate it, but it's my first night in it, and I've laid down in it. It's comfortable. I'm 5'8", and I don't know that I'd necessarily recommend this one to guys that are 6 foot over. Even the way I got it set up, my feet with my boots on get a little bit, not smushed, but there's just not a whole lot of room. Again, not going to bother me while I'm sleeping, but anyway, I'll take a couple of photos and I'll keep it going. But that's set up, we'll tarp over it, and then we'll see what happens tonight. Well, that's going to have to do it. Hammock underneath there. Still a lot of wind underneath me, so I might get cold, but we're going to see what happens. I could probably have everything down a little bit lower. I probably don't need a 12-foot tarp. Little things, but that's what I had in the garage, and I'll go from there. Anyway, we'll give it a go tonight. We'll find out how it goes. Well, here I'm inside the hammock. See my feet. They're not bad, you know. They're right there. And then I'm not going to be able to see me here, but this is me. Again, not too bad. It'll be interesting trying to get into the hammock. That's going to be the interesting part with the sleeping bag. But this whole cross thing, I don't know, I'm quite comfortable. I might like just sleeping right like that. So anyway, we're going to give her a go. Again, tarp. We'll see. Well, here I am. It's once you get all the sleeping bag and everything in there, it's tight. I'm not going to say it's not, you know, but it's I don't know. I've only ever slept in a bivy bag once, so it's hard to. But even the bivy bag, truthfully, felt a little bigger than this. But in the end, it's very comfortable, I have to admit. Everybody's telling me my back is going to get cold, and they're most likely correct. I don't have an underquilt of any kind, and we're going to drop to -4 Celsius tonight. So I've got a -7 sleeping bag, and I'm dressed appropriately. Dressed in something I might be dressed in if I went out to the woods. So anyway, we're going to see how it goes. The wind's died down to next to nothing, which is kind of nice. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, so guys were asking me about what equipment I was using. This is a free soldier hammock. I've got just a Woods -7 sleeping bag. And then other than that, really, just a plastic green tarp over the top of me. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But what the thing's going to be, the biggest thing is probably trying to stay warm on my backside, because everything gets compressed underneath you when you're sleeping, so you're not warming or trapping any heat underneath you. It's just constantly being blown away as it escapes out out the back of the hammock. Anyway, it's going to be fun anyway. We'll see what happens. Talk to you in the morning. Well, it is about 2:30 in the morning, and some owls just woke me up. It's, I just checked, it's about -3 out. And, I'll be honest, guys, it is chilly. It is chilly. I mean, I have to move around a little bit every once in a while just to keep the parts of my back from getting too cold. Some small thing I think would make a very big difference with a pad or something like that underneath me, or, of course, the underquilt of some kind. I would not want to be out here if it was colder than the -3 that it is right now, or even worse if the wind was, howling past me. Anyway, I think I'm going to try to get back to sleep. I don't want to give up on it, but definitely going to look into a pad of some kind and then give it another go, hopefully again with a similar -3, -4 temperature. Anyway, I'll post this a little bit later on. Good night. Well, it's morning. Around 2:30 last night, some owls woke me up. It was lovely. Chit-chattering and going on. And then by 3 o'clock, I just hadn't gotten back to sleep. And it was one of those things, it was the cold, as everybody, was mentioning, and as I sort of, had an indication that's what was going to be the problem as well. But last night was trying to test the limits of this this hammock and the sleeping bag that I want to be using. So I get an idea, where that threshold is when I need to carry that extra piece of equipment. There is no denying I had good 5 hours sleep from about 10 till 2:30-ish, and then the owls woke me up. And then I don't want to say that it got a whole lot colder. When I went inside, thermometer said -4. The wind hadn't picked up a whole lot, so I think it was just maybe more my equipment and my own body heat had kept me warm long enough, and then it sort of had reached its limit. But all in all, I mean, -4, I want to be prepared for that, especially in the spring if I'm taking this setup fishing with me in the woods. So likely early April, I'm always going to have that pad with me, a pad, and I'm going to test that out. I'll figure out what pad I'm going to use. The idea with the reflective layer appeals to me, so I'm going to see what I can find and work out for that. But other than that, I mean, either you succeed or you learn. And last night, your first night trying any new setup, it's all about learning. So here are a few things that I do like. Very, very comfortable sleep. I mean, as far as, falling asleep in a hammock, this thing was awesome. I have to admit, it was a little bit tight, as far as, I don't know, I'm not claustrophobic, but I would think that if you were claustrophobic in any way, even though you can see out, your shoulders kind of snug you a little bit, you can't move very easily. If a bear had been sniffing at me, not that you could do much anyway, but you pretty much just lay there and hope that he left you alone. There's no getting out of the hammock quickly. Let's put it that way. When you're in your mummy bag and then you're compressed even further because of the way that the hammock likes to hug you. One of the great things I found out last night, this particular setup, man, I switched from side to side, my back, it very, very comfortable. So I was very impressed with that. I do often, well, not often, I always sleep on my side in bed, and I could flip left, right, and I was able to do that last night with ease and no worry whatsoever of flip flopping or doing whatever. So, and outside of that, this tarp. One of the things that about anybody who's used one of these tarps is if the wind does pick up, it's been quiet. It makes an awful racket. That's part of the reason why I like some of the more expensive tarps, to be honest. When the wind does pick up a little bit, it doesn't make that rattling sound. So that's something I'll consider, but again, not necessary. Other than that, no. Great night. Made it about 5 hours. Everybody was right. My backside got cold. Now I got to fix that up. So yay for me. Now I get to go play with some more gear. Anyway, thanks guys. I'll talk to you in a bit. We're going to give her another go. Tonight, temperatures are going to be similar. Going to be a little more humid. But tonight I'm going to sleep on the old blue roll in the hammock. So we'll find out if this is any better. Borrowed a Thermarest, one of those blow-up Thermarest, or blow-up self-inflating Thermarest. If I get real cold again, what I'll do is I'll throw that on top of this probably. And finish out the night just to kind of get an idea how that works. But so again, it's going to be -3 or so tonight, but it's going to get colder later. So it could be midnight through 2 o'clock, won't quite be as cold. But if I can make it through tonight on this right till morning, then I'll know that I'll just take this along on those nights where it could drop below 0, and because again, I'm not planning on spending a whole lot of time in the woods when it's below 0. This is for fishing and fall, and on occasion it does drop when you're when you're not expecting it to, and you want to be prepared, obviously. But so one more time tonight. I'll probably go to bed around 11 tonight, to be honest, and see if I can't bang out a whole night out here in the hammock. So anyway, my wife is happy at the very least. She gets the king size bed to herself again tonight. So here we go. One more night. Well, it's about a little after 10 o'clock, and I'm in here with the pad, and so far so good. It's only been a few minutes, but already I think I can feel a great deal more heat not escaping. I don't want to say it's hot, but it's, because that would be a lie, but it's definitely, you don't feel that chill the same way. So anyway, I'm going to give it a go. Tonight, it's -3. I think it's supposed to be the lowest it's going to get. So should be a good evening. We're going to get some snow in the morning, I believe. But the tarp is there. Just another experience. Be able to see how the tarp and snow blowing might affect everything that it is to sleep in a hammock. So I'm wearing exactly the same clothing, the same layers as I did last night, just to be sure that everything is a fair trial with the pad. So anyway, sweet dreams, everyone. Good morning. So it's about 0 degrees out. It's about 5:45, almost 6. And the raccoons, my goodness, horrible noise. Anyway, for those of you that haven't heard raccoons go at it like that, Jesus, you think someone's dying in the woods. But anyway, I'm in a neighborhood, so. All right, experience last night with the pad was awesome. It really was. It was great. Much, much warmer. And, slept great. The only thing that I learned last night is that I do like to sleep on my side, and last night I was almost on my stomach, which was, again, very comfortable, but I was breathing right directly into the hammock. Like, the backside of this hammock has sort of waterproof membrane material, and it collected the moisture from my breath. and then started to run down, you know, down the back of the pad. And then when the pad slipped a little bit, which I'll fix, that's not a big deal, I could feel the moisture with my hand. And that could make for a rough morning if it was really, really cold and the back of your sleeping bag and all that was wet. So it wasn't sort of my body heat that was doing it. Well, it depends how you look at it, but it was my breath. My breath was getting, well, whatever the hell that's called. The condensation from my breath was collecting, and it was collecting because I was breathing directly onto the hammock. Anyway, fun night. I think I'll probably go in and have a cup of tea. And now I sort of know, that -1, -2, -3 is easy enough to get through. But this is a setup that's going to be, 0 to +5. And that's okay. That works for me. Okay. Success. All right. Now, to the woods. All right. So, some final thoughts. 2 nights in the hammock. Both nights, first night got down to about -4. Last night, -3, -2. Wind was approximately the same. Last night was a lot more humid, and actually I can even see I'm under my deck, and even underneath my deck I can tell that a lot of the wind that was blowing this way was blowing the moisture. The ground is wet beyond the tarp, so last night was a wet one. So I used, that was my pillow. That's just a towel. That's a neat idea for anybody who's interested. This is what the hammock comes packed in. I just rolled up a towel and put it in there. And I found that sleeping with that underneath my neck was a lot more comfortable. I'm a pillow guy. I sleep with 2 or 3 pillows in bed if I can. So I always need my pillow. And then, this was my blue tarp. Blue tarp that I slept with last night. And you know what? I don't even know if I'm going to bother cutting it. It seemed to fit pretty good, and I had folded it over. This I'll probably make a little bit longer because it did slide down on me a little bit, so back of my shoulders. First thing this morning felt cool, but not cold. So I don't even think I'm going to bother cutting this. I think it works out just fine the way it is. Roll it up, take it in. Final cautionary tale, I suppose, for you guys that are thinking about this. Last night, I sleep on my side and or even very close to my stomach last night, and I actually was very flat. I was very impressed. I thought that would kink up my back, but I just naturally went there because that's how I sleep when I'm in bed, and I didn't notice any problems whatsoever. But when my face got down into the hammock a little bit, and this side was coming up, and I wasn't breathing out the net, I was breathing right into the mesh. This is a waterproof mesh on this particular, because this bag also turns into a bivy bag, or you can use it as a bivy bag, this hammock. And so this is a waterproof material. And as I was breathing into it, the moisture from my breath was condensing on the inside of the hammock and then running down. Now, it wasn't a whole lot. I noticed it with my hand. So it's one of those things that would have been easily probably fixed had I had this all the way up. I don't think I would have had my breath condensing like that. So that's a simple fix, and it's just a mistake you don't want to make on a cold night and then end up getting wet. Again, it's limited, so not something I think you should be too worried about. And then other than that, when I get out to the woods, I was trying out this little thing. I put my glasses and a flashlight in this. I just borrowed this from another tent that I had. So that's going to be in my pack, just a little mesh thing. I should mention, I was using these arrow shafts. They say to use sticks when you're out in the woods, that we don't have to pack anything. But I'm here at the house, and I had seen somebody online use arrow shafts in order to prop up the netting. Worked very, very well. I don't think I'll carry arrow shafts with me when I go into the woods. I'll find a stick. But if you were wondering what those were. And outside of that, all in all, the free soldier hammock is 2 thumbs up for me. I'm very, very pleased with it, and I'm looking forward to getting out to the woods and putting some real woods time in with it. So that's all I've got to say. Thanks, guys, for following along. Don't know if I'm going to bother doing a YouTube video or not with this particular thing, but for everybody that was following on Facebook, you know, if I am considering doing YouTube, tell me what I should and should not be doing, what you like and did not like. I promise I will ignore it all. So, you know, you're welcome to say whatever you like. That's for those of you that know me. That's a joke. Anyway, all right. Thanks, everyone.